Well, today I'm sharing one of my air fryer French fry recipes. To start off, I wash and dry 4 medium potatoes really well, and then I cut them into about 3/4 inch strips. If I'm using a medium-sized potato, it works out to where I generally cut it about 3 times, and then I take those pieces and cut them 3 times. After I start getting a few potatoes in the bowl, I like to take some filtered water and pour that over the potatoes, so I fill the bowl most of the way up with water, and then I just continue on chopping the potatoes. This is going to be part of a series because I make a lot of different fry recipes. I've refined all kinds of different ones, and we've honed in on exactly what we like the best. I used to just go to the stores and buy the regular frozen fries or potato wedges, and our favorite ones, the store quit carrying them, so I started going to Walmart and getting those. And then in our area there was the Great Fry Famine, where you could not find a bag of fries anywhere. It was so crazy. So I started experimenting and found quite a few different recipes that we liked, and our favorite actually finally came back into the store, and we tried them again, and they had changed the recipe, and we decided that we like ours that we make a lot better. Another thing I like about the homemade fries is that they're less expensive, and they're actually even better than the stuff that you get in the store, and you can have so much more variety compared to what they have available in the freezer section. After I get them all cut up, I slosh it around in the water a little bit to release some of the starch, and then I pour the water off and put them back into the bowl and add some more water. While they're sitting for their second time in the water, I just get all the ingredients for the seasoning and start mixing that up. The first thing I put in is some ranch powder. Then I add a few shakes of jalapeno powder. Next I add the breadcrumbs. We really like the coating that the potato wedges have in the store-bought frozen fries or potato wedges, so I started adding more of that, and it's a lot more like the texture that they have, and they taste so good. After that is the flour. I'm just using regular all-purpose flour, and I did the same thing with it. I started adding a little more, and between it and the breadcrumbs it adds a really nice coating to the fries. And then I add the Parmesan cheese, and then I just mix it all up. I try and get all the clumps from the ranch powder mixed in really good. You don't want big clumps. You want it to all be mixed in as fine of a powder as possible. Next I add the oil. You can use whatever oil you like. Here I'm using vegetable oil and olive oil. Some people in our family don't like the flavor of olive oil that much, whereas others love it, so I do the best I can to make it to where everyone's happy. I also just play around with how much oil I add. You don't want your seasoning mixture to be too thick or too thin, or else it won't stick to the fries, so you kind of gotta get it just right, but I'll show you exactly what it looks like. That consistency right there, that's what I think works the best. Then I mix the potatoes up a little bit in the water to get as much starch out as possible, and I drain it one last time, and I put the colander in the bowl with the potatoes, and now I get my rags out, and I'm going to dry each individual potato as best as possible. So we want them really, really dry so all the coating will stick. After all the potatoes are dried and added to the bowl, I get my pan out and line it with foil, and then I put the air fryer tray on top of that. Now it's time to mix them all up. I've tried this using a spoon or tongs or something like that, but it is really a lot easier, and they get coated so much better if you just use your hands, and I mix them really good to get it all distributed throughout all the potatoes. Also, I have this little copper pan that I add to the top. If I don't have really thick potatoes on the bottom air fryer tray, I can add those, and we get a whole nother layer of potatoes or fries that can get cooked all at once. Whenever I get to the end, if I have any left over, I just put them on a pan in a single layer, not touching each other, and freeze them, and in a day or two, whenever they're frozen really good, I just put them in a Ziploc bag, and after I have gathered enough, or sometimes I just do a big bulk making day where I make a bunch of them, I just freeze them, and then I put them in a bag, and I have bags of fries just like you get at the store. And the awesome thing is the frozen ones cook the exact same amount of time as the ones that aren't. Now I just add the pans to my little convection oven, and I cook it at 300 degrees for 35 minutes. As you can see, they drip a little bit, so that's why I like to put that pan down underneath with the foil so all that doesn't go into the oven. This is what they look like all done. If you like yours a little crispier, just cook them a little bit longer. These are really good on their own, but they are even better if you dip them in some sour cream. Robert said that they tasted like Rax potato skins. The full recipe can be found on my blog. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!